Live than a motherfucker.
Y'all know the routine. Get this shared out.
Let's go.
Let me play a little bit of music or something. Or something. Go back.
Selena's prompt still popping up. We're not sharing our page, are we?
Just yours.
Maybe it pops up for the
We gotta figure out how to get Selena's off of there too.
Shout out to Selena though.
Sharing it on your personal page or on your on the Method Podcast page.
Right now, if you go to Remy's, it'll be on Remy's page.
All right.
I got 3 more days left, and I'll be able to go live again.
Yeah, you locked up.
Yeah, 3 more days, man. Yeah, if you go to Remix, it's up there right now. So I'm gonna. What's that?
The notification from Selena's page.
What you laughing at?
This.
For real. 100%. 100%. Like, bitch.
Old stories.
It's like, I think you're doing too much.
Like you cutting deep right now.
Yeah, like you ain't gotta talk so crazy about me like that.
Like you see me sitting here, right?
Like right here.
Yeah, I'm
Right
like
here.
right here.
Damn these short ass light skinned.
Like I can see you.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Let's see.
How do you mute the you know what? I'm just gonna
Should be a button over there somewhere, I thought.
Yeah, nothing coming up
I
there.
don't know.
I'm just gonna turn the whole volume down.
Yeah, that's what I did on my other one.
Just so I can see who's in there.
Invite people. That's interesting. I didn't know I could do all that.
Method heads, how y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? Grab your drink for this Wednesday night. Episode 10, Space Talk, all the good talk about space. We're looking forward to having y'all part of the conversation this evening as we do the Quiet Storm.
You know?
3 deep voices, 3 light-skinned dudes.
And I'm your own personal Neil deGrasse Mike Tyson.
That's 2 Tysons in one right there. One will knock you
Telling
out.
you, right?
The one will knock you out, and the other one will send you to space. I guess it's kind of thing.
Neil deGrasse Mike Tyson Bedford. That's 3. That's 3 Tysons. How many Tysons can you get
How
in the
many
sentence?
Tysons can you get? That's I've been seeing, I don't know what's up with my algorithm, but I've been seeing a lot of clips of The Professor lately.
Oh,
Street
what?
Baller.
Oh, yeah. I've been seeing. You know what? I've been seeing a couple of them too.
You know, it's
Maybe-
all linked together.
Maybe he just like slid them a couple of bucks and was like, "Yo, my number's going down."
I didn't even know if he was still like, you know, active. Like I
I
heard of
remember-
him back in the day.
I remember he when he was like a kid,
Yeah,
like he was like 16, 17.
right.
You know, he's still playing now.
I don't know.
Must be, I guess.
I don't know if this is like new stuff or if this is like highlights or what. But I just been seeing a lot of it. So
No, he's not still playing. He's too old to be playing still. He got to be older than we are.
I mean, he too old to play in the NBA, but
Yeah.
pickup games, that's all he plays.
What, he
so,
like 40? How old is too
might
old?
be.
Too old. All right, man. Let's do a podcast, bro. We 6 minutes in.
All right, let's get it.
Take a seat and put your feet up. We gon' meet up. Sit with me and sip some tea with Remy Mulatto. Give me bottles of Hennessy and Moscato. They had enough already, but there's plenty to follow. I stay poetic, but Jay noetic, remaining effective. Conversation getting heavy, staying respected, playing the record, maintaining collective. Saying what you thinking, ain't no place for rejecting. I claim and amend it. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. So tell me what you think. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. It's mostly everybody talking honestly over drinks. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think.
Hey, excuse me. Hey, welcome to a Method Podcast. I'm Jay Noetic.
I'm Remy Mulatto.
And I'm Justin Ebanks.
Hey, this season there is shit on our minds.
Man, shit to talk.
And shit that needs to be said.
And y'all know that the best way for us to talk that shit is
To
to
have mostly everybody
talking honestly over drinks. And that's what we call a motherfucking method. Hey, man, if you're watching this live, we appreciate y'all. Make sure you comment and like and share this live right now so that we can get more people in here for the conversation. If you're watching this in pre-post and on Spotify and YouTube, we need you to hit that subscribe button for us, that like button, notification, turn that shit on, man, so y'all can get notified when we drop all kinds of new content.
Absolutely.
Method mood.
Because we out here.
We out here. Method mood.
Yeah.
How y'all feeling this week? Bad mood, good mood, great mood? Let's get into it all.
So the beginning of the week is always tricky for me just because, I don't know, coming off of the weekend and back into the work week just never feels good. But I had picture day yesterday.
Picture day.
Picture day,
Were
like
you in
in
high
school?
school? Oh, I remember. Oh, no. You said picture day. You and Rhonda were doing pictures.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was.
Okay.
I thought that was last week.
It was yesterday.
Oh.
Engagement photos yesterday, and we was both looking like real cute. We had
Yeah.
so I had like the first shoot was like I was in like a black shirt
Yeah.
and pants, and then I had like red Timbs on because I'm from Detroit. But the Timbs
Red
matched her
Timbs?
dress. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that Detroit player.
That's
And
that
the Timbs
Detroit.
matched her dress. So I didn't look at none of those pictures, but and then the second one we had matching shoes, like matching Timbs with like paint splashed on them. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see them.
I know you can't wait to share them, man.
Yeah.
And the Tim represent that's part of your personality. You know
It
what I
really
mean?
is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like I got pairs of Timbs that I've had since I lived in Detroit, which was like years and years and years ago. So these
Really?
are like, so I was
So
able
you
to
hold
get,
on to Tim's.
I
You know
do.
Tim take up a lot of space in closets.
they
They do.
they show from me. Ronda was just like, what you gonna do with these? Because I put them back in the shoebox after I wore them.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
You still got the shoe boxes?
I
Still
think
got the
Tim's
shoe
fall
box.
into the category of shoes that you can call shit kickers.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
All right, that man. Well, I cannot wait to see the pictures, man. That's dope, man. I'm excited for you and Miss Rhonda.
Yeah.
Mr. Ebanks, man. How you feeling this week?
Man, I'm feeling kind of, I would say, happy,
I mean, you should be feeling happy.
anticipatory, and
How did did you pull off everything you wanted to pull off for the
man.
surprise birthday
Yeah,
party?
it was
Because last week we
right.
couldn't
It
talk
was
about it
great.
because
So-
he had planned this whole stuff out for his lady. So how did it turn out?
yeah. So everything worked out, man. It worked out perfectly. She was totally surprised.
Hey.
She had no idea. She just ain't lying.
No,
She had no idea.
no idea. Like literally, she had no idea. So when we were leaving,
Uh-huh.
I told her that I had just, because her neighbors were going. So I told her that I just saw them outside and I asked them
Yeah.
if they want to come,
I
And
got
so,
you.
yeah. So then when we got there and then, all her friends and,
Did she cry a little bit? Anything?
she didn't really cry. She
Okay.
didn't really cry,
She
but
not a crier,
she
huh?
was, but she was happy though. She was happy.
That's what's up,
The
man.
best part about it is that the present that I got her,
Uh-huh.
I literally hid it in her living room.
She had no idea the whole
she
time.
didn't see it.
She didn't search for
She
it.
didn't see
How long
it
was it
at
in the
all.
living room?
It was about 3 days.
It was in there for 3 days.
It was
and
about
she
3
just walked
days.
past it.
Yeah. It was the equivalent
think of
of a man standing in your living room doing this.
Right.
And she
Just
never
hide.
even saw it. That's
You still
crazy.
never saw
That
it.
sounds like some shit you would do.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
ridiculous.
Just hide it in plain sight, and you just walk to it. Like, how did? So,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
when you gave it to her on her birthday, how did that go? Like, what'd you do?
Oh, well, it was, what I'm saying, I got her like a gift certificate to a spa that she likes.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
Oh, so it was
And,
like sit on the table in like an envelope or something.
no, I brought it with me when I
Oh,
came
okay.
when I came back from work.
Right.
So so I gave that to her, some flowers and all that kind of stuff. And she was like, "Oh, thank you so much." I was like, "But wait, there's more."
Mm. That's
And then
what's
she's
up.
like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "You didn't see that big ass box over there? The box is literally 3 feet tall."
3 foot box.
She never saw it. That's
never
crazy.
saw it. Never saw it. So yeah, so
That's
everything
what's up.
worked out good. I'm kind of anticipatory because next week I'm fucking going to Japan. So
Mhm.
It's gonna be a big,
so
that's a big
yeah,
trip,
so,
man.
yeah. That's gonna be a good trip.
That's
I
exciting.
know I'm looking forward to seeing that as well, man. So I'm feeling pretty good, man. I can't complain too much. I just got back from North Carolina. I did a little road trip, and y'all, I fucking hate road trips, by the way. And
You went to North
Yeah,
Carolina,
we know.
North Carolina,
North Carolina.
North Kakalaki, and but it was good to go back to the country. When we say the country, y'all, we don't mean like a whole nother country. Like just mean the country living.
It's like another country to some of us.
That's
Shit.
true. That's true.
I don't
So
know
yeah,
shit
it was
about
cool.
the country. I'm a city boy.
Man, every time I go back to the sticks, as they say, man, it reminds me of home. I had a great time just waking up early, and we don't have morning dew here. Like talk about like you wake up and the grass is just like
Morning dew, leave me like
Dude.
going to the bathroom.
Like the
No,
outside,
like
like the
outside.
outside just had a whole wet dream.
DW, not poo poo.
Like the outside had a whole wet dream.
Yeah, so it was
Just
dope,
wet
man. It was
everywhere.
dope. So it was good, and and the next week I'm going to Mexico next week. So
Mexico.
you're going to
Oh,
Japan.
okay.
I'm going to
Yeah,
Mexico.
yeah.
I'm just looking forward to that as well. My first time going to Mexico.
I'm going to work.
Okay,
You going to work?
You
Hey,
going to Mexico.
hey, man, somebody got to pay these bills around here. Hey, let's get into what we like to call Method Movie. All right, Method Heads, y'all know the deal by now, but just in case it's your first time listening to Method Podcast or watching a Method Podcast, I am going to play a movie clip for the table and for y'all to try to guess. If you're watching it live, you are in the same boat as these two. You don't get to see the video. You can only hear it. If you're watching it in post edits, then you get to see the video that I added after the fact. All right. So last week I was able to stump them pretty good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Lori Williams who got it in the comments. So I
Yeah.
feel obligated to give them a gimme this week. So I think this is a gimme, but we'll see. All right. So what movie is this?
What do you get on that blue chip stock?
I make 1%.
that's boiler room.
I know exactly what that is.
Nope.
I know what that
It's
is.
50%.
I know what it is.
50% commission.
That's the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
It's our market.
It is the Wolf of Wall Street. Let's let it play out for a second.
So if I sell a stock at $10,000, my commission is $5,000.
If you sell $10,000 worth of this stock, I will personally give you a blowjob for free. And I hope
I don't know if I'd take that deal.
Hello, John. How you doing today? You mailed in my company a postcard a few weeks back requesting information on penny stocks that had huge upside potential with very little downside risk. Does that ring a bell? Okay, great. Well, reason for the
So yeah, this is Wolf of Wall Street. Let me give y'all a hand clap, man. Should I give y'all a hand clap? I told y'all it was gonna be easy.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna give you a hand clap.
Give me some applause.
I'm gonna give y'all some.
In
I'll give
the
y'all.
company, I wrote
So yeah, this is Wolf of Wall Street.
I knew it as soon as I heard Leonardo DiCaprio because
But why? But why?
I remember his entire delivery from that movie.
Really?
It was very powerful. Like
I'm
it
not
was
fucking
like
leaving.
yeah. Between that and like his acting in Django, like as soon as I
Yeah.
hear that, I know who that is.
Yeah. So Wolf of Wall Street came out in 2013. It was directed by Martin Scorsese. Obviously, starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's basically
What did y'all think of the
playing a
movie?
Wall Street
That's
cokehead.
y'all love it? Y'all
That's
love
a
that
great
movie?
movie. I love that
It's
movie.
a great.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
It's based on a true
hilarious.
story,
Yeah.
right? So
It is
Yeah.
very entertaining. It is a very entertaining.
yeah, I think my funniest, the best part of that movie for me with the whole skit, he was trying to tell them how he got home drunk.
Yes.
Yeah.
The on Quaalude.
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
But okay, this is a tough question. When it comes to best actors of all time, where do y'all place Leonardo DiCaprio? Cause I was going through his movie catalog, and his movie catalog is not the greatest, but the movies that he has hit on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? You talk about Titanic, you're talking about
Great
Inception,
movies.
you're talking about Django, you're talking about Wolf of Wall Street, you're talking about the
Yeah.
one he just did with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Catch Me If You Can.
Um,
Catch Me If You
with,
Can.
The
Yeah.
Departed was really good. Blood
Yeah.
Diamond was really good.
He's got some good
That's
movies.
got some good
He got some
movies.
good
when,
movies.
That's when he became essential to me. Is when The Departed came out. That's when I realized, like, okay, that motherfucker is a force. And it wasn't even just like his role, because his role was pretty simple or whatever. Like,
Hold on, what
he was,
movie you talking about?
The Departed.
Oh yeah.
Martin Scorsese's movie.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like after I saw that movie, I knew he was like a leading man. Like I knew he was gonna be that guy. Because you saw him in Titanic, but that was like so long
That was
ago.
a
It was
long time ago,
romance.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how memorable is he, I guess, from that particular movie. I think the movie was just a memorable movie. And then you had him he was in Romeo and Juliet. The
Yes.
remake. Which is really good.
Yeah. So I mean,
He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Brad
He
Pitt.
was in Once
Yes,
Upon a Time in
that was the most-
Hollywood.
that was the more
That's
recent one.
recent
Yeah.
So
So
he's
one
been-
more Man in the Iron Mask, I think.
oh,
I
I
haven't seen
forgot
it.
about Man.
That's when
Iron
he was.
Man.
That's when
Gangsters
he
of
was
New York?
young.
He's in that
Yeah,
one too,
yeah.
right?
That's-
He
yeah,
did
he's
a
the
lot of
lead,
good
yeah.
movies
He got
back
some-
before too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got
He got a
I'll take
little
that back.
catalog.
He got a
little
catalog.
So where do y'all rank him? Best actors of all time.
Man, like how many is
he
my?
top 10?
It's hard to say because
I mean, I don't know, man. I'd probably put him in the top 10.
yeah, top 10.
I'd
Well,
probably put him in the top 10.
I will put him top 10 for like male actors. I don't know the entire top 10 because
Listen, man, all we got is actors now. All
I'm
right.
just saying.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I would
There's
say
no more actresses. Remember last week?
I could he would fall
Get me in trouble.
if I'm
What the fuck?
if I'm thinking about like female actors as well.
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
just say actress, it'd be one word, but I'm not gonna fight about it. So top 10 male, yeah. Top 10 overall, I don't know. Because I don't put him above.
It'll be hard. It'll be
I don't put him
hard.
above Brad Pitt. I don't put him above Tom Cruise. I don't put him above Tom Hanks. I don't put him
Denzel.
above,
Yeah, that's
especially
true.
Denzel. And
Samuel
I wasn't even on the
Jackson.
black ones yet. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's so many
Yeah.
that
Yeah, it's a lot. So
And
this,
that's
he
not
could-
even women yet.
I'm
I wouldn't
yeah,
put him
it's a lot.
above Viola Davis. I
I'm gonna
wouldn't
get you in
put-
trouble right
Ooh,
now.
really?
I wouldn't. He's probably near where Angela Bassett is for me, maybe.
I
You know
think
what I'm
he's
saying?
pretty up. I think he's pretty high up there.
I think he would be.
I think
yes.
he'd be a little higher.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna get you in trouble right now.
All right,
Randy.
let's
would
do
you,
it.
Would you can he act better than Beyonce?
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
By
100%.
far.
That's obvious, but still, you know
Don't-
what I mean.
I hope I don't get.
We-
swarmed
I'm
for
just
that, but
trying to-
yes,
We are
I think-
not
I think-
I'm
scared
just
of
trying to get the
Listen,
Beehive.
Even the
angry
Beehive
to
knows
come
that.
after you.
Even the Beehive knows that Leonardo could outact Beyonce.
For sure. So
Can he perform on stage? No.
Yeah.
what was his best movie?
Not like that.
What was
Can
his
he
best
perform
movie?
single ladies?
His best movie.
In your opinion? For me, I think it has to come down to either Django or
Django was good.
Inception. Those are two of my favorite
Inception
movies.
was amazing. I forgot about that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Did we mention Inception earlier?
Yeah, I did. So what do you think? In your opinion, you have one that just sticks out for you every time?
I might say Wolf of Wall Street.
It was pretty
It was
damn
great.
good.
You know, because unpopular opinion, I didn't really like him in Titanic at all.
Yeah.
I did. That's
I think
that's
he
one
was
of
just
his least.
starting. Yeah.
That's one of his least favorite roles for me.
You know, I
For
still
sure.
haven't seen that motherfucking movie.
You gotta see it. I mean, it's worth seeing. It's
I'm
definitely
probably
worth
not gonna
seeing.
see it. I've heard what it's about, and I've heard enough.
Yeah.
Long
yeah.
story
about-
short, it's about a woman telling a story about how she got some on a cruise.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
they
pretty
left the
much.
man hanging in the water.
Yeah,
All right. So budget was
Which happens every day.
every day. Every day.
It
I'm
happens
hustling.
every day.
So budget was $100 million. What do you think it did in box office? Budget was
fucking
$100 million.
$500 million.
$100 million.
Wait, what movie?
I'm talking about Wolf of Wall Street. Budget was
I'd say 4.
100 million.
That was, I mean, that one was a pretty, and I mean, it even got bigger afterwards. Like it had more of like a following after
So
it
probably-
first came out.
probably
So
got
I
over
would
5.
I would say it's probably gonna be pretty high. Like
Maybe
probably
7.
about 800-900 maybe.
Is that your final answer? 800.
I'm gonna go with
900?
650.
Yeah,
650. You should have went with your final
Oh, it's
guess.
lower.
$1. Alex.
$400 million.
400 million.
Damn,
406
I'd hit
actually.
that
406. You said 400. You
Yeah,
said
I was
402.
right there.
You're right there.
I said
Right there.
$1.
All right, so $1. Trying to pull that
Like the
Ebony
price
move.
is right.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if I'm in the audience and I got a golf club near me, I'm knocking that motherfucker out. $1,
For
bitch.
real.
All right.
So even worse when the person says $1 and then the next person says $2.
Yeah.
What are y'all-
What? Fuck everybody in this room.
Yeah.
What do y'all think the number one movie was in 2013? Number one movie in
2013.
2013.
It wasn't.
I don't even remember what life.
I'll give
was
you.
like
I'll
in
give you a hint. I'll
2013.
give you a hint. I'll give you an easy hint.
Probably.
It is a Marvel movie.
Iron Man.
Probably Iron Man 2.
It was Iron Man 3.
3. Oh. The one we didn't pick.
Wow, that's
Iron
funny.
Man 3. It
That's
was
funny.
and they did so their budget was 200 million, right?
Mhm.
And they did 1.2 billion
Damn.
dollars.
Yeah.
1.2 billion
Tony
dollars. That's
Stark.
crazy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Crazy. All right,
Yeah.
man. Congratulations to you two for knowing that it was the Wolf of Wall Street. If you have not seen the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, I recommend, or we recommend, that you go watch it, because out of 10, it's probably about an 8.5. I ain't gonna give it a 10 because I agree to
Great.
give out 10, but it's worth
Yeah.
it's worth
Great
watching.
movie. Great
It
movie.
definitely shows you how the other side lives.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure. And how people can be easily scammed as well.
Yeah.
Remy, let's get over here and get into this Method Weekly real quick.
Method Weekly.
Reporting live from the desk here. All right, our method weekly to this week is going to be
What is a Method Weekly?
What is it?
We tell some news.
yeah. We're just
What
pretty
the
much
fuck is going
keeping
on in the
keeping
world?
you up to date with what's going on since the last time you
Especially
saw us.
since this is your first news source, since you came
Yeah.
here.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
that's a lot of pressure. to
Yeah,
be
you
your
know what I
first
mean? And
news
I mean-
source.
Yeah,
And I mean, it can't get no more accurate because I get my news from Facebook. So,
God damn it.
I mean, you know, so
I
you,
get mine from
so
Twitter.
you know it's been verified.
Yeah, it's definitely.
All right.
All right, what we talking about then?
All right, so
Blue check.
this week there is a Snapchat influencer. Her name is Corinne Marjorie. She's 23 years old, has 1.8 million followers on Snapchat.
I didn't even
right?
know Snapchat was still that popular, to be honest
I
with
didn't
you.
either. I don't hardly use it. I have it, but I never use it.
It's a niche social media. It's, you got to have a
So-
specific taste.
So the crazy thing about this is that she decided to use open AI technology to
Mhm.
create AI version of herself. And she's pretty much saying, like, I'll be your girlfriend for $1 a minute.
So, okay, help me understand. So she says she created an open AI version of her. It's a digital version of herself.
Yes.
So
it's
they read.
they
right
took
there.
the yeah. So let me see. So she developed a startup, Forever Voices. Has the same voice and personality as
Mhm.
Corinne Marjorie.
Mhm.
The girlfriend bot, which is raising big ethical questions because she made $70,000 in a week.
Damn.
and they
And
took
it's
they
not
took-
even her.
they took 2,000 hours of her being on YouTube,
Yeah.
just like from her YouTube videos, and that's how they developed it. So it's based on what she has portrayed or been on YouTube. It's just like now it's just in this AI format, and I don't think
is it a real body? This is a robot. It's not
No,
a robot.
it's-
It's like
I
it's
believe
just
there's
digital.
voice, but I don't think there's
Okay,
visual.
okay,
Yeah.
got you. So
So there's-
people are paying to see her visually.
Yeah, the voice.
So it's probably
the voice and the personality
Yeah.
essentially that is
it's
portrayed.
probably
so,
taking like stock images of her.
So people, this it's basically, if you really think about it, it's a clone. It's a digital clone.
Yeah.
Digital clone.
Yeah, and she's like, my digital clone can be your bitch.
Mhm.
If you
But
want.
it's virtually though.
It's virtual.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people out there who want somebody to talk
How
to.
did we get to a place
No.
in our life?
I think
we
the
don't-
biggest
we-
question.
that-
We're not gonna kink shame right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
That's
think the
not
biggest-
kink shaming
I
though.
think
That's
the
not
biggest
kink
question-
shaming.
Whatever it is, whatever I don't know what this will be considered, but
It's not kink
whatever it
shaming.
is,
That's
their
not a
their
kink.
thing. So it's a lot of dudes. I'm not
Who
even
ain't-
gonna
Mm.
I don't even
Just
get to
lonely.
like incels,
Mhm.
but there's enough dudes who don't have enough interaction with women that it's like if I could get somebody to talk to me, that'd be great. So this is it, and it's
So-
$1 a minute, and you can talk for like an hour, and see
Yeah.
how it
Wow.
goes. It's $1 a
So
minute,
it's like glorified stripper, but
Yeah.
it's your girlfriend.
basically.
So I
And it's
think the-
cheaper, probably. Well, is it cheaper? I don't know if it's cheaper. It's actually more expensive.
The biggest question I think most of the method heads want to know is, Jay, why you giving this girl $70,000?
I know,
Yeah,
man.
dog.
Listen, bro.
Man, you
It's
hang up
lonely.
the phone, Jay.
Listen, it's
Hang up
hard
the-
out
hard
here
out
being
here,
light-skinned,
man.
bearded, and
Say
bald.
no,
you-
and
Nah,
it's
at this
hard.
table, you the dark skinned one.
I am
Oh,
the
yeah,
dark
that's
skinned
right.
one.
Thank
I
God
am
for
the
the
dark
day.
skinned one. Yeah, it's hard out here. Listen, I've been lonely before, right? And I've definitely had my nights. And I mean lonely, like I have my friends, and your friends can help you not be lonely. I'm talking about like intimacy, right? I've been lonely.
Mhm.
You be
Before.
fucking your friends, Jay?
I have in the past,
There
absolutely.
you go. Your friends are fucking being lonely.
I mean, I ain't the only
Why
one
you
out
lo-
here doing
That's why
it.
you're lonely now.
That's
If you
why
think
I'm.
Whoa.
How does song go? If you think
you're
you're
lonely
lonely now,
Wait
Oh,
until
yeah.
wait
tonight.
until tonight.
We need to do another backyard
Girl.
karaoke.
We will. I don't think I will ever get to a point where I would pay someone that. But if men out there need it, and,
Well-
and it helps them, if it helps prevent them from having
Yeah.
suicidal thoughts and
That's
whatnot,
true.
then
'Cause
fuck
that's
you
true.
do it, whatever.
You got to think about what it actually is. So
it ain't my dick. So.
you have it in your wheelhouse to be able to send a message, and you're gonna receive something back from a real person. So you ain't never got to worry about
Yeah.
texting no AI.
So you got to create it virtually.
So the
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
that might be attracted to this has been sending messages and nobody's fucking responding.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, well, fuck these hoes.
yeah,
I'm
for
about to
real.
go.
You know what they're gonna start doing next? They're gonna start putting AI voice of guys in dildos for women.
Mm.
So the dildos, you know, these big old dildos, they be wearing,
Yo.
women be riding.
But
It's gonna be like Idris Elba's voice,
So
and they're like, "Give me that dick."
So-
it could be all.
But
they
would
gonna be all
women
over
really
it.
want that? I
Listen,
figure like
they
they
definitely
yes,
would.
You think
yes, yes.
women, listen, there's
Women
a,
are just as nasty as men are.
and
Yeah,
also
I
what
guess
you're
so.
talking about. There's like a lot of auditory shit that they like
more
that. It's like
auditory.
so-
more physical. They're
That's
more.
true.
lot
So what's
more
gonna
auditory.
happen is the dildo is gonna have Bluetooth, and you're gonna have the headphones plugged into the
Exactly.
Bluetooth, and it's gonna talk to
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
Bro, we might be onto a
Holy
into
shit.
a moneymaker right
We need to
now.
invent
Hey.
that shit.
Cause listen, they doing AI voice
That's true.
stuff now
Yeah,
it's
with
only a matter
hip hop
of time.
artists.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
not
what's
there right there.
what's to stop it from?
That's not. Somebody call Candy Birds. Somebody call.
Hey,
somebody.
y'all can't steal this shit. I'm gonna figure
Copyright.
out how to do it
Get
right
us in touch
now.
with.
Hey, does this work
A
like when you
dildo
claim your front
manufacturer?
seat? Like if I say copyright, that means I got it. You can't.
I
Like,
don't know.
I'm sorry. You can't make it now.
Listen,
And
listen,
speaking of which,
listen. If
so-
someone can do an AI and charge a minute, yo, we can do a Bluetooth dildo with a voice that sounds like
It's
these
easy.
actors out here.
it's easy. I mean, it really
Oh,
depends
how do
on.
we make money off of that? Because it's their voice, though.
You would have to
That's
do
a whole
your
nother
voice.
conversation.
It had to be your voice.
They don't want to hear my voice.
I mean, they might.
they don't want to. I mean,
Somebody might.
I mean, people did say my voice was sexy,
I remember that.
but I don't think it's that sexy. I'm not a big enough star.
No.
You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
people to fantasize about like that. We
Yeah.
want to sell the product,
Yeah.
and they'll sell it if it sounds like
Yeah, and
Leonardo
whoever.
DiCaprio.
So if they did AI, they would have to essentially steal Idris Elba's voice.
Yeah, yeah.
And they probably gonna make some money off it, but eventually they gonna go to jail.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, you could
They trying their best to crack down on
you
that
could
shit.
get it. You could get it. Change the octave by like half a
Right.
thing and call
Yeah.
it Bidris Belmont. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's ways around
That's
it.
funny.
There's ways around it.
That's wild.
Idris
You know what I
Elba.
mean? So,
What else we got in the weekly news?
all right.
In
So,
the Method Weekly,
all right. So let's go from one sexual predator to another.
Mm.
So-
one sexual predator to another.
The R. Kelly podcast.
All right. No. Well, I mean, you know. So, a Manhattan federal jury found Donald Trump sexually abused E. Jean Carroll in a luxury department store dressing room in the spring of 1996 and awarded her $5 million for battery and defamation.
That's where the cheers supposed
So,
I was doing it early.
Sure too soon. You was like,
He's
yeah.
excited. He's
I
just too
pre-ejaculated.
excited.
I ejaculated
He's
early.
too excited.
Too excited.
So
Wow,
like,
it's premature.
Premature.
like the biggest thing about this for me is just like I'm glad this motherfucker got convicted of
Of
something.
something.
Like
Yeah.
he ain't gonna. I mean, he ain't gonna go to jail
That nigga
for it.
been
But
dodging shit like the Matrix.
yeah,
for
like,
like 7 years now.
Did you see what he said on social media? He said, "I don't even know this woman."
yeah, I saw that. I saw
Who
that,
is
like
that
the interview.
bitch?
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Who the fuck is that?
It was crazy.
That's
He
what
was
you're
like,
supposed to do. It wasn't me. He knows
It
the
wasn't me.
playbook.
and they asked him. They were like, when you said grab him by the pussy, you still believe that's true? He was like, yeah, for the most part, yeah. You know what I'm
He's a
saying?
creep.
Like, come
He's a
on,
creep.
man.
He's
Like,
such a
But the thing
Somebody-
is, he's still going to be able to run for the president of the United States.
Yeah,
And he's still
that's-
going to get millions and millions of votes. So it's
Yeah.
just scary to think about that we can live in a country ran by a felon and a molester, basically.
pretty much.
Welcome
So,
to America.
you know, anyway, I'm just glad he doesn't get away with this one. Like,
Yeah.
at least something.
Well, you know what?
Stuck
I feel like
this
they
time.
could have got him when he was in he was in office, but too much shit is tied to being a president of the
Yeah.
United States, so they just let it go. And now they just like, look, we're gonna get you for everything that we possibly can,
Yeah,
just to make sure we keep you out, or try our best to keep you out of
yeah,
office.
yeah.
And this is not even
Right.
thing
And the main-
related to Democrats. This is just like straight law, like
Yeah.
in
What's
jury.
wild about that, which is what made it like what makes me just think about it more, is like he essentially got convicted of sexual assault, but he just has to pay money.
Yeah.
That's not even something that
I think it had
anybody
something
I know,
to do.
I think is it like a
Never.
civil
It's like
trial or
I
something
think,
like
yeah,
that?
this was a civil
It's-
trial.
yeah, so it's
this,
not like
I think
a
it had
regular-
some kind of
It's just-
It's not a
statute of
criminal
limitation or
trial, so there's
something.
no criminal penalty.
Yeah,
It's
So for
just the
civil
money
trials,
reward
it's
to
money,
it.
but still, it's just
Yeah.
wild to be.
Yeah,
But all
it's
the-
crazy.
all the-
Imagine being
That's how
white
they got
and
OJ,
rich.
by the way.
yeah.
Or they started going. That's how mostly
Went
how they got
after
OJ.
all his
he got
money.
off criminally. They
And
kept
they
staying
got
in
him
his pockets.
sued, yeah. So, but yeah, it's going to depend on what happens with the rest of his cases. So those are like actual criminal
Yeah.
cases. So
Well, I hope this helps set the
That
precedent.
nigga's gonna run the country from the jail cell.
yeah, for real.
If he go to jail, he probably definitely gonna get elected because they can't take him off the ballot. You could still be run for president in jail.
Yeah.
That might
But
not.
no,
I might have made that up. I don't know.
Can
if that's
you
true.
can you still be president if you have a convicted?
I know if you
you're
have a
convicted
record,
felon?
you
Yeah.
can.
Mm.
I don't know. If, I might be lying.
How
about
wild
you
would
can
it be
go
that
to
a
jail.
president has a record, but felons can't vote in most states?
Right.
For real.
Crazy.
You could be incarcerated and be president.
I don't think so.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
think
saying.
so.
You- I don't
might be
think
making
that-
that up. I think
Yeah,
you
I
can
don't
still
think so.
run.
Yeah.
But
Because when you're incarcerated, all your rights are stripped. So
Not
that would
all of them.
include
Not
the
all of them.
presidency.
You're supposed to still have some rights. It's like
He gonna be in a white
it's
collar
the-
institute anyway.
it's the beta version
For
of
real.
rights. It's not like the real rights.
Yeah, it's gonna be resort jail.
Yeah.
Resort jail. Can you?
Anyway, that is your.
It's gonna be like the
method.
presidency
That is
all
the
over
Method
again.
Weekly, man. We want to know what you want us to talk about. Let us know every week. The Method Weekly, and let's get into what these people came. I mean, they came to all three of us, but they want to talk about space talk. Method message.
I don't
So-
know about the abduction stories. I don't know how many of those are real.
I don't think that shit is real, Joe.
I don't know. The thing is, if it happened to a small number of people and it was by a super advanced intelligent civilization that is so far beyond us that we can't even imagine it, how much evidence do you think they would leave behind?
Do you know how many times men has been cheating on women and told their wife they was abducted by aliens?
Really? Is that
That's
the
why
move?
black women don't believe that shit. He's like, where you been? Ruben, you been gone 3 weeks. Oh, baby, this fucking alien came and got me. All these fine bitches, they floated me out of space. I told them I had you back at the house waiting on me.
Told him.
Well, that's a different kind of
They
story.
couldn't understand my language.
Joe Rogan, that's a different kind of story. So yeah, man, we're talking about space talk, man. Aliens, universe, parallel universes, anything that we can bring up that we can talk about that's on our mind, we're gonna do it, and we want you to do it with us.
Yes, outside.
What we
the-
starting? I mean, keep talking
I
about
mean,
aliens.
I think we can talk about the obvious question.
What's
Like, do you
that?
think
What's the
there's
obvious question?
aliens?
Do we think
Do you
there
think
are
there's
aliens?
Is real.
or are we fucking aliens?
That's a 2-part question,
That's
man.
a two-part question. Let's start with aliens. Let's start with foreign aliens.
So
Do we think there's other life in the universe that is not us?
I think there's absolutely
I mean,
life
how
out
could there
there
not be?
besides what's on this planet.
How could there
There's-
not be?
yeah,
for the
exactly.
universe to be so motherfucking
Yeah.
yeah,
and so motherfucking vast. There's something else
Yeah.
somewhere. Like it's probably way too far, but you know,
I
it's
mean,
somewhere.
Like when you think about it, you look in the sky and you see all these stars,
Right.
right?
That's supposed to be.
And this is just our galaxy.
Mhm,
This is not any other one.
mhm.
There's billions of them out there.
Right.
Like, how could there not be? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's very arrogant to not.
I think it's.
that-
I mean, absolutely, it's super arrogant to think that we are the only ones in the vast space of the universe. However, I'm gonna play a clip a little bit later in the episode that might make you think differently about it. But I agree with you guys. Like, I do believe that there are aliens, that other life exists, because, like you said, it's so much. We are such a small spectrum or space in the vastness of space that it has to be some other type of intelligence that exists.
That'd be like if a population of ants, like say in somebody's backyard, like I mean ants can't come up with this or whatever, but if they didn't think that there were other ants somewhere else in the world, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because their area is just this backyard.
Yeah.
So that's what our Earth
That's
is.
their entire universe.
Yeah, whereas there's ants all over the fucking, you know what I mean? And they don't never see each other, never encounter each other, never will. So it's like we're essentially like ants in the universe,
Yeah,
you know?
pretty much.
And I mean, and
But
it's,
we at least smart enough to think it's probably something
There
out
might
there.
be something out
and,
there.
You
and
know?
and it's possible that
Possible.
that we are the least intelligent species
Very possible.
in the
Hey,
universe.
They be saying Earth is ghetto as fuck, and honestly, I
Yeah.
kind of
Very
believe 'em.
possible.
Yeah,
That's probably why, like, you know, like we was watching earlier.
yeah.
We was like, you know, yeah.
The aliens
probably-
don't visit us.
That's
for
yeah.
that.
That's probably why. Like we see the aliens, but we don't. You know, they never stop and say, "Hey, what's up?" Like because they know we dumb as fuck down
Right.
there.
I do think that if aliens exist, I think that they are so far more advanced than us that we would not even be capable of stopping them to begin with.
Right.
So I don't think the aliens that do exist are evil intentions.
They
Yeah,
just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, look at these ants down here
Yeah.
riding around in jets and planes, and they think,
Yeah.
we
Or
can-
with-
yeah.
or with the alien abduction thing, could they be like, you know, trying to like maybe like they're like hurting us like chickens? You know what I'm saying? Like we,
And they come back and just grab one every once in a while.
yeah, just come back and grab
what
one.
if,
like,
what
you
if
know.
human beings are like a power source for like an alien planet?
Yeah.
Like just one
You know
human.
what I mean?
and
Like-
they just come and
It
just like
might be
let's
more
grab
real
one.
than you realize.
it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the scary side of it. I would like to think that if there is other life out there, that they don't want no problems. Like it's not beef.
Yeah.
They just either don't give a fuck, or if they do show up, you know, they'll have a conversation. Like
So you-
I don't think it has to be a fight.
So is everybody in agreement that if they did come, that we probably wouldn't be able to defend ourselves?
Oh, I agree. We wouldn't.
it depends.
We wouldn't be able to
depends.
defend ourselves.
It depends. Like I mean, obviously, all the movies we make, we win,
Well,
right?
Which is the ego.
So
I mean,
that's
egocentric.
that's and even those are like very overwhelming odds. But
Because think about the
We should
level
probably-
of intelligence that would. We can't even find life on planets right now, and we only have one spectrum of a space that we're looking at. If another intelligent life form can get to us, they got to be super smart and super great with
Consider-
technology.
yeah, because we are reaching very far in the universe. Like we can probably send something to the end of our solar system, and that's about as far as we can go.
yeah.
So if something can get inside of our solar system from somewhere the fuck else or whatever, because we know ain't no aliens
they're-
here. Far as
then
we
they're
know, ain't
way
no
ahead of
aliens
us.
here. We've checked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or at least we've looked and we haven't seen anywhere that's even habitable. So if there's aliens out there and they can get here, they should be more advanced than us by far.
Yeah.
That
For
makes
sure.
sense.
Yeah, I don't think we'd have a chance at all. Just because like for one, they've been able to, like, if they can come from outside the solar system, they've mastered
Potentially.
like Mach speed or dimensional time warps. Like they've figured out something
So
that
Yeah, that we
haven't.
don't have. Yeah.
So the most plausible thing that I can think of that even I feel like humans could do outside of like super crazy technology, just within the realm of like what we might be able to do someday, probably not within our lifetimes, but maybe in the next lifetime if we last that long, is like cryogenics, or the whole idea of like if you can freeze your body and stop it from aging somehow, and then you put that in a ship that just goes to wherever it's supposed to go. You do the math and keep it in that direction. And if you know that there's a habitable planet there, it'll get there eventually. And then, you know what I mean? Like, so, because that's what they're sort of trying to do with Mars. And I think there'll be some kind of hypersleep, but it's close enough that you don't have to be like,
I think Mars is what,
completely
6 years?
is it 6 years?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
So you're
I
gonna
can't
lose 6
remember.
years.
So just think about that.
Someone Google it.
Just think about
How
that.
far
Like
is
if it takes us even 2 years,
Yeah.
if it takes us 2 years to get to the next closest planet,
Some niggas don't like a 2-hour flight.
somebody like I'm tripping off this 13 hours to go into like
Right.
So it is 170 million miles
yeah.
from Earth.
That's a long drive.
How long does it take?
Imagine that road trip, Jay.
So if they can get to so somebody can get to us from outside the entire solar system, like they got to be way past where we are.
And yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
depending on how they come, I guess. Like if they come sleep, then they might be like just beyond us. But if they come awake, like if they show up and they like, okay, there go the niggas right there.
like how long would it take you to get here? Like
Right.
10 minutes.
Like we stopped by McDonald's on the way.
You know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I just put the Tesla on auto drive.
Right.
Oh no, we said years. It's not that far away.
It's not years.
Trip to Mars would take about seven months.
7 months.
7
That ain't
months.
bad.
Okay.
7
Yeah,
months.
that ain't- okay.
So
That's
y'all know
almost
what?
That's still a long ass
That's almost
flight.
an Uber in space.
Y'all know what this is from right here? Hold on, let me hit the pause on this.
It sound old.
Space.
It's old. as
That's
shit.
that's Star Trek. Yeah.
That's the original Star
These
Trek.
are the voyages of the Starship.
The original. So
Its 5-year
to your
mission
other part of the question, do you think we're the aliens?
to seek out new life,
I honestly think that there's a part of me
to boldly
that looks
go
at
where
Earth
no man has
as
gone.
like the zoo, like the place where all this life exists. As for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't think that we are from here. Maybe we are the aliens that we're from somewhere else,
Mhm.
right? And so I think it's possible.
So if we are aliens, then that means that evolution would not be real. So that means that we don't come from shit on this planet, and everything that was here was already here, and we showed up and just started fucking it up.
Or maybe,
Or maybe our DNA was spliced. Maybe
yeah.
Oh, like
Because like maybe, you know that how they have like the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, right?
yeah.
What if that was our fucking spaceship landing?
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like maybe it wasn't an asteroid at all.
That's
Maybe our
interesting.
spaceship crashed
Called
and got
something.
rid of them. You know, like for that
Yeah.
purpose.
Mhm.
You know, it was built for that purpose to destroy, get rid of the dinosaurs because they
Right.
would fucking eat us.
right.
And
I
then-
mean, y'all never looked at like Earth and all the weird animals that we find that we still
A lot of
discover,
wild
shit.
and be like, "Yo, that's from here.
Right.
Mhm.
That's here." And I'm like, "Yo, how we just now discovering?" Or like they say an animal is extinct, right? You can't find the animal anywhere; ever it's gone,
Yeah.
and then all of
It
a
pops
sudden,
up.
yeah, it pops back up.
Mm,
How? Did
Yeah.
someone put it here? Did someone drop it here?
right.
You know, and so
Yeah.
part of me wonders like maybe there was a certain type of human a mammal that looked like us, right? Apes or whatnot, that another smart civilization came in, spliced the DNA, and created the next human. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we could, and maybe they spliced it with their version, maybe it's their DNA
Right.
Mhm.
that they put into it that created,
Yeah, because maybe
you know?
So if you break it down from that level, essentially you would think maybe they couldn't survive a trip here.
Check comments just in case. I don't think anyone's in there.
Maybe
but-
they couldn't survive a trip here, so they sent just like samples or something.
Mhm.
Because I've seen that in like some movies where
There's a show. It's called Raised by Wolves, where
Yeah,
like the
that's-
planet
that's
was
one of
the
them,
planet
yeah.
was dying, and so they sent embryos with these androids,
Android. Yep.
and they land on the planet, and
Yeah.
then they start raising the kids.
Yeah. So essentially, if you looked at Raised by Wolves as a show, you could think that could have been where humanity started, or our humanity.
Yeah,
started.
yeah. It could have been. It could have been.
It's interesting.
It could also be. I got a theory.
Okay, what's the theory?
All right. So when our solar system was forming, Mars would have cooled down faster, right?
Mhm.
It would have been more habitable for life in the beginning,
Yeah.
right? So Earth was still like a big ball of like lava at this
Mhm,
point,
mhm,
right? So Mars would have been like Earth is now. Okay. So life might have developed on Mars first, right? Then Mars got hit by a microplanet, which was the size of like Pluto,
Mm,
right?
mhm.
And it pretty much changed everything about Mars.
Yeah.
It completely wiped out anything that was there. It changed the whole planet. Like it's not even a circle anymore because it was the impact was so hard. And so all this debris that got sprung out into space, if something was fossilized within those rocks, and then they landed on
In
Earth, and then that could have been where life on Earth started evolving from.
It could have been, but when you listen to like the scientists and astrophysicists, they say the elements that we have on Earth are so particular for life to exist and happen,
Right.
that it would have to be so astronomical of chances for it to be
Like
a
it's
random
very-
chance.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't disagree, but I would say this. What if life on Mars already currently exists? Like, do we believe that the government is not lying to us about life in the universe? When they say life doesn't exist, are we
Yeah,
believing
I
them
don't-
that it doesn't exist, or they
Yeah.
haven't, that they haven't found life yet?
That's just one of those things we just got to take them at their word. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we found out there was people, there was like life on Mars or something like that, or like on a moon or Jupiter or whatever. It's just that I don't think we don't have access to things that could be like, nah, you're fucking lying.
Yeah.
And we're getting close because there's at this point, I think it was within the last like 2 years, the whole idea of like UFOs being real was just like government was like, yeah. Like they haven't shown us anything.
They didn't
but
deny
they were
it.
like,
They just stopped denying.
They're not
it.
denying. They stopped
Yeah.
denying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people. I don't know if you believe in channeling, but there are people on Earth that do channeling, and supposedly they are channeling the higher self and higher consciousness self that from the future the other people can talk to us through these channels, and they all say that our government knows that life exists
Mhm.
on these planets, on Mars, but they're not telling us because it would literally rewrite
History, everything.
and people's beliefs.
Yeah,
Right,
pretty much
religion, everything.
all religion
It's
would
like
be
religion doesn't talk about that. Talk
Yeah.
about life on Earth. You know what I mean? So they're not telling us because it's going to disrupt.
I mean, there's a couple of
Everything.
religions based on aliens, but we don't.
What's that,
dig into
Scientologists?
I think Scientology. I think there's a little bit of that in Mormonism too.
The happy pants.
I don't know the full story, but
most religions are based off of like, God created Earth for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the only thing he ever does, So if alien pops up, then you're like, okay,
well,
something's not right
you're
here.
looking at the
Yeah.
alien like, but Jesus said.
Yeah.
Alien is like, who the fuck
Yeah.
is Jesus?
Who
I'm
the
here to
fuck
take
is
over.
Jesus?
Alien will be like, how you know my name was Jesus?
Right. Like, yeah,
Jesus, yeah.
you got it. I'm back,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Like one of the
exactly.
things in Star Trek, in that clip I played, in the new version of Star Trek, they say that when they discover a new planet, they don't just go down and talk to these people
Yeah,
because
they don't know how
they
ghetto
don't.
it is
they-
down
well,
there.
no, they don't know. They don't want to become their gods,
Right. They don't-
Because they don't. We don't know what it is. Our brains don't understand,
Right.
and then they become gods, and then that we don't want to become their gods, so we got to do it in certain levels of understanding, so that
gotta
we don't
talk-
become their
Talk to them at their
gods.
level,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'd be like, I'd totally go down there. I'll be their gods.
I am God.
Star
Especially
Trek.
if they got fat asses, huh?
Yeah, Star Trek also, like, the guy in the yellow shirt always dies. Like,
Always.
don't wear the yellow shirt. Like, if you got on the yellow shirt, like, what are you thinking about?
Especially if you're black.
Change
Black
before
or
you go
yellow.
down. Before
You're
you go
dying.
down
You're
to the
dying
surface.
before the credits end.
Yeah.
I think it's the red shirt. You ain't a Trekkie.
Is it the
though.
red?
You ain't a
Yeah, I'm not a
Trekkie.
Trekkie. I'm not a Trekkie.
So-
I ain't either,
I'm
but
not at all.
Do
yeah, I
y'all
heard about the
y'all
red
believe
shirts.
in parallel universes?
I don't think it's something you can believe in. I think.
Okay,
I
do you think parallel
I think it's
universes
possible.
exist?
I think it's possible.
It's hard for me to even. Not necessarily.
I could totally fathom a world where there's me, but it's a different me.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't think I believe in it. Not for real. Like I like the idea in theory, and I could see how it could be possible. Because every time you make a choice, essentially you're creating a new universe. Like
Remy
you're
in the
going
other
this
universe
way.
believes it.
Yeah. Well, maybe he does. So like, but since I'll never experience that, I think if there are parallel
How do
universes,
you know you don't ever?
I don't think that's what I don't believe in. If there is a parallel universe, we'll never touch it. We'll never see it. We'll never know. I don't think there's any capacity in life that could do that, because I feel like that would break the fabric of reality. if universes start merging and shit like that.
But how do we know that our universes aren't already merging? Because there is a belief that when we sleep and we go and we dream, when we dream, the dreams are actually us traveling to different parallel universes
I don't believe
and
that.
getting a glimpse of
My
it.
dreams are way too ridiculous to be some parallel universe.
Why couldn't it be? though?
Maybe
Why-
your parallel
maybe
self
it
is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Listen,
You know what I mean?
Listen,
Like,
The universe
we
gotta
watched-
make a little bit of sense.
What's Loki,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Loki, they had all
These are
these
movies though. I
Yeah.
don't care about no movies.
your parallel
Listen, I'm
self
just
could be
saying.
insane.
I mean, that's
You
all.
know?
That's all hypothetical, but
Yeah.
there are theories that exist that says that parallel universes, in theory, should exist, but discovering them is a whole nother thing, right? But how cool would it be though to be able to travel to a different parallel universe and just observe
Mhm.
your you, and maybe that's what aliens are doing.
Maybe.
Maybe they are traveling
it's-
to parallel universes.
Maybe
and
it's our parallel universe selves coming down to look at us.
we just solved that. We just
You know what I'm
solved
saying?
that
Like
shit.
that's
We just
you know?
solved it.
Am I
I'm not
high
even
or are
smoking
y'all
right
high?
now.
Who's
This is
high?
crazy thing.
I thought I was the one that
I'm
was
not
high.
even smoking.
I don't believe none of that.
You don't believe none of that.
It's
You
the
don't
high.
believe in nothing.
This is the crazy thing. It's the high one that doesn't believe it.
Exactly.
That's how high
Exactly.
I am. I've gone past the belief. I'm in. Yeah.
So you wouldn't do it. Let's say hypothetically, right? It's all hypothetical. But let's say, hey, y'all, we can now travel to parallel universes. If you want to go, you can go. You wouldn't go. You wouldn't go to see this parallel universe. I would fucking go for sure. I would
I think
definitely
I'd
be out.
go. I think I'd go.
As long as I can get back, I would
It
definitely
depends
go.
on what the trip
You
entails.
can't get
though.
back.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like if I got to travel through the center of a black hole or some shit like that, I'm not going.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
It
Because
can't
I
be-
can't.
It can't be painful.
Yeah,
be
exactly. Like I'm
painful.
not gonna.
It
yeah,
can't be painful, and it can't take a long time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I need to be able to get there and get back.
yeah, exactly. Like I need to be able to do it in the amount of time it takes me to go to the stove.
All right, let me play this clip and then I'll ask y'all a question on this clip. This clip is from People Smarter Than Us. This first clip is from Neil deGrasse Tyson. Obviously, everyone knows him. He's probably currently the most famous astrophysicist that exists, but not the only one. So this clip, I'm gonna play real quick here.
The only one that
Time
matters.
travel possible? We can definitely travel into the future. Like, is time travel possible? We can definitely travel into the future by moving faster relative to everybody else. The tricky part comes if you want to go into the past. And that's really dangerous. It is so dangerous that Hawking was thinking to himself that there must be some law of physics we have yet to discover that prevents it. Because if you go back and prevent your parents from meeting each other, then you will never be born to go back in time to prevent your parents from meeting each other. So yeah, it might not be likely that we can do this, but there are equations in the general relativity that allow it, but a higher understanding of the universe might actually prevent it.
All right. So that one. What are your thoughts on that? And what are your thoughts on time travel? What if you don't?
I'm a big fan
I'm
of
with-
Back to
I'm
the
with him
Future.
on that
So
Well, he said that you can't.
He
I
said
did
he
go
said we
backward,
don't-
can't
he
go
said we're not
past.
there yet.
But he
don't
said
have the
going to the
technology or
future is
understanding.
more.
so we
is
could
possible.
go. We could go forward. We just can't go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the idea of making time go faster.
We
I
fuck
guess.
up what we got right now. So it has to be rules in place that prevent us from going into the past, traveling into the past, and change and blowing up everything or changing everything.
Right.
He's obviously never seen what was it, Superman 2, where he like went around
Right.
Earth backwards.
Yeah, Superman
Yeah.
did it. Superman did it.
So
Back
I mean,
to
it's
the
totally
Future.
possible.
Come on, all
Back to
these
the
goddamn
Future.
movies.
You know what I mean?
Neil
I like.
deGrasse Tyson, stop lying to us. You with the government.
I totally
Him and the
think.
government.
I mean, I absolutely think at some point we're gonna invent some form of time travel. It might be 10 seconds.
Mhm.
But,
well, they're already
know.
doing like teleportation stuff.
Yeah.
So what's going to stop it? No, I definitely think there's going to be some form of time travel as well.
It would have to be highly regulated though, because 1 million people would go back and do some Back to the Future shit, and bring back like the sports
Yeah.
almanac or
Yeah,
something,
we be
or lottery
fucked
numbers
up in
or
like a
some
week.
shit. Yeah,
Everything on
exactly.
Earth
The
would be
timeline
fucked
would
up
be
in a
screwed
week.
up. Absolutely.
If time travel is ever a possibility, I think it would be so controlled that we probably wouldn't even know that it exists.
Yeah. I'd say that's probably
I
a
don't think the
safe bet.
government would ever even tell
Well,
us.
they would never share that with civilians. For
Yeah.
what? For what?
Yeah, because it would just
But
fuck up
maybe it wouldn't be the
everything.
government that discovers
Discovers
it though.
it,
It could
yeah.
be scientists, and scientists typically let the public know everything that they discover.
Yeah.
There's scientific journals, there's articles, there's videos. Most scientists don't want to keep the information to themselves. It's mostly, hey, this is what we discovered, and we want the world to know what it is and what we've discovered, right? And so
I think if it was ever to be invented or exist, it would have to be on some like, okay, let's go back in time to fucking stop the Terminators type thing, like something that happened that we need to prevent to let mankind go on.
because really that could be part of like well, they don't call them UFOs anymore. They call them UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. So, but maybe that those UAPs are time travelers,
Could
right? They could be they could be time traveling,
Could be.
and maybe they are. I read a lot of different sci-fi stuff, but
So like UFOs could be like the DeLoreans of
Right.
of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what everybody's normal car looks like
Yeah.
in the future. And then it just shows up back here and we're like, what the fuck is that?
they could be, they could be trying to prevent us from destroying human
Yeah.
life in the future. Maybe something happens in the future that's like, oh, we got to get back to that shit. And I just started watching the new version of Quantum Leap. Did y'all watch Quantum Leap back in the day?
Yeah, I watched it.
So they got a new version of that. I guess it's like 3 seasons in at this point. It's pretty good though. It's pretty good. Very interesting. But yeah, time travel, who knows? But if they ever let us, know, I would be the first one to do it. So would you go to the
Time
past?
travel?
Would you go forward or backwards?
I wouldn't go nowhere.
Man, cause you just
What I'm
gonna
do-
stay
what I'm
where
gonna
you
do
are,
with
right
this
here
shit?
on Earth.
Listen, first of all, going back in time is gonna fuck everything up. So I ain't going back there.
You ain't gotta touch nothing.
But you don't know the rules.
So going back to what Neil deGrasse Tyson said, he said he believes that we could make time go move forward faster. But I think what that actually means is we would age faster. And who the fuck wants to go, like, unless you're just trying to wrap it up. But I'm cool with like the flow that we're at. I feel like that's the time travel that's probably theoretically possible as far as we know, is just making everything move faster. Relative only to, I think, how we age. It might not
Yeah.
even be time as far as Earth is concerned. It's like, oh, humans get old faster, which is goofy.
So I wouldn't go to the future if I got to be the age that I
Yeah.
would be in that time. Like I wouldn't do that.
They-
Why would you do that?
But theoretically going to the future, I feel like that would, if I were to go to the future, there's already so much shit I don't know now. And I go to the future and I can't even use the phones. Like everything is gonna be complicated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything's
Well,
gonna
you
be shit that I
learn
can't.
and you adapt.
like in Demolition
you
Man,
learn
where
that.
you go to the where you're like,
Right.
okay,
He's like,
I'm trying to wipe my ass.
How
Use
the
the three
fuck- use the-
seashells.
Nah,
Like-
fuck this place. Fuck this place. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I
technically,
That's the only way to do it.
I think technically they say that, so if you think about like the James Webb Telescope, right?
Yeah.
They are looking into the past, and what we are seeing has already, like, by the time if we were to travel to where the James Webb Scope is seeing,
Where it sees, yeah.
when we get there, it's no longer we're in the present. We're not seeing
Right.
currently. We're
Right.
seeing into the past. We're looking into the past.
Yeah.
It takes so long for it to reach us.
Same thing with
That's how it
same
works,
thing with
like-
stars. When you look
Yeah.
at stars up in the sky, sometimes those stars are dead. They've been dead for a while, but the light still
Yeah.
travels at a certain speed that
Yeah.
we still see
That's
it
why that's what
for
the term
years and fucking
Yeah.
years.
that's what the term light speed comes from, because it's how fast light can travel a certain distance. You know what I mean? So yeah, most of the time, even the stars we look at in the naked sky, with our naked eye, like that light, that like the light that we're seeing was given off millions of years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just getting to us now.
Do y'all know what a black hole is?
I know what a black hole is.
Do you
We
know
talking
what
about
a
sex,
black
or-
hole is? No, but seriously, you know what a black
Sex
hole
talk
is?
or space talk, yeah.
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 Ain't it like an inside out star or some shit?
You said
Black hole-
inside out star.
It's a star that got
It's a
got
it's a
flipped
collapse.
inside
It's
out.
a collapse star.
Star
Yeah.
was talking shit to the wrong motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a collapse star. So basically, it collapsed in space and onto
So pretty
itself.
much when there's a supermassive star, right, and it the way that it dies is that the core becomes solid iron, right? Iron kills stars. So when the core becomes iron and the outside runs out of fuel, it pretty much implodes on itself, because the core is so massive that the gravity pulls everything in, because it doesn't have enough energy to sustain itself.
Yeah.
And then when all that stuff hits the iron core, it bounces out, and that's what they call a supernova, right? And after that explosion, sometimes the gravity is so much that it will pretty much flip itself inside out, and that's where black holes start.
Look at the big brain on Justin.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. All right, next
Neil
clip.
deGrasse Mike
Did
Tyson,
y'all know?
right? No, Neil
thing-
deGrasse,
another thing, real
Bob
quick.
Ross.
Another thing, real quick. Did y'all know that there's two types of black holes?
Of course, I know that there's two types of black holes.
They don't know that.
There's tight
Okay.
ones, and there's no. I'm sorry.
I see what you're talking about.
No, what's the two
Okay,
types?
the two types there's supermassive. Those are the kinds that are at the middle of galaxies,
Mhm.
right? And then there's what they call rogue black holes.
They
right?
move around.
Yeah, the rogue black holes are the scary fuckers.
That's
because
dangerous.
they're black holes, so you can't see them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Only
It's
way
like-
you can see them.
That's like
is
black
if-
ice.
Yeah, the only way you can see it is if it swallows a star within your view
Right.
and the light off of it. So, like, there could be one right outside our solar
And
system
just show
right
up and
now.
be like, bloop.
Yep, there's that. Yeah, you know
And
what?
that's a wrap.
I'm gonna go ahead and eat
We
that.
just get dusted.
So, yeah.
Damn.
What do you think about Elon Musk's idea about nuking the poles of Mars in order to make it warmer?
Yes, so some of these are kind of pie in the sky ideas,
Right.
but let's get to what he's trying to get at.
Yeah.
What you want to do is you want to introduce warmth. You want to block the ozone. You want to block the ultraviolet so that you can protect organic life. All right. So we have an ozone layer. It's the 3 oxygen atoms, O3, and ozone likes ultraviolet light. So ultraviolet light comes from the sun and gets eaten by ozone. Gets eaten, and when you do that, the ultraviolet light doesn't make it to Earth's surface. So even though they say, "Oh, wear sunscreen and sunblock 45," yes, that's for the 1% of the ultraviolet that gets through
What's
the
that?
atmosphere. If you're above the atmosphere, you are fried.
What did you think about Elon Musk's
All right,
idea about-
so that's Neil deGrasse Tyson and Joe Rogan talking about nuking the poles at Mars in order to create sustainable atmosphere for humans to live on Mars. Do you guys think that we as a human civilization will ever live on another planet in our lifetime or Mars?
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're
Well,
gonna have to.
I don't know if I would say our lifetime, because they
Yeah, not in our
talking
lifetime, I
about
don't
Mars, but I feel like they playing.
Yeah.
I feel like ain't nobody really gonna do it.
And here's the
I
thing.
mean, they can't be playing that much. I mean, they're spending billions of dollars on the shit.
But they still ain't been back to the moon, and they could have been went back to the
We're
moon.
getting ready to go back to the moon right now.
You
know
I
what's
feel like we've
weird?
been getting ready to do something for a long time.
Well,
Like,
they ended space travel for a few years.
Yeah.
But it is a little weird that we went to the moon
and ain't been back
and ain't going back since. So the question becomes,
because it was fake.
Because we saw some shit that we didn't want to go back to.
Maybe they told us if we couldn't go back to it.
Yeah.
It was like, nigga, it's some shit.
That was like, yo.
Yeah.
For real. Like
the alien was like,
something came from the dark side. It was like, yo.
It was like, yo, the moon is closed.
Don't ever let me catch you right here.
The moon is closed.
This our neighborhood, bitch.
Yeah.
This our. You wearing brown skin?
We thought the Earth was ghetto. The moon way more ghetto.
For real.
I like. There's an episode of Futurama that talks about going to the moon because it's like 3,000 years into the future
and back.
And so one of the characters, he's so excited to go to the moon because he's like from our 2000 time period or whatever. So he has no idea what's on the moon.
Fry.
But in the year 3000, the character Fry. But in the year 3000, they've built a fucking amusement park on the moon, and there's like all this shit to do on the moon. Because technically, there's nothing to do on the moon.
Yeah.
Except drive around. And he's like, I just want to explore it, and they explore this.
I just finished reading. I didn't see that. I did not see that episode, but I just finished reading a book called Artemis, and it's from the author who wrote The Martian, which was a movie that was Matt Damon, right?
Yeah.
And in Artemis, there is a moon base and moon civilization there, and
wait,
people
the
travel.
Movie, you said
that's the book. The book is called Artemis.
That's not the one about Mars, though.
The lights just go out somewhere. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Okay. The author who wrote Artemis wrote The Martian.
Okay.
And so there is in the book, people are living on the moon. People are vacationing to the moon, right? And so they are talking about like establishing like a moon base on the moon. Would y'all travel to the moon now?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why? Why would you?
Well, that
why
means
would you
no
not?
beaches up there. It ain't no fuck. I can't ski on that bitch. Like, what am I gonna do on the moon? What am I gonna do?
You on the moon?
I think that's just a thing that you would do just to say you did it.
It would have to
I
be.
agree. I
you know what
agree.
I mean?
It would have to be marketed very well.
Because the gravity is obviously different. You
Yeah.
can't really go out there without a suit on.
Yeah, but it could be like a fun experience. But I feel like it'd be so strenuous. You about to fly 13 hours to Japan, and honestly, to me, that's a little far. So if I gotta fly 4 days, I think it's 4 days to get to the moon.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think in one of the movies they
It'd
did,
be a
it
crazy.
was like 4 days.
It'd be a crazy experience.
It would be.
I think I wouldn't just do it for the experience. Nick, we
That
zip,
flight-
we zip line for the
That's gotta
crazy
be it.
experience. Like to sit on a rocket
I ain't like doing that.
and
shit
doing
either.
it.
Yo,
Like,
let me
I
tell
would-
you.
I think I would.
I went to
definitely do it.
I went to the
would go.
Kennedy Space Center, and they have like a simulated like pod that you sit in.
Oh, yeah?
That's the same size as
That's something I want to do. I haven't done yet. Go see a space shuttle launch.
So it's the same size as the capsule that they went in.
Right.
Right. I sat in that thing. I was like, oh, absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
Absolutely not.
It was too tight, or
It was
just.
too. It was It was tighter than my legs under this desk.
Oh yeah.
Like-
yeah, you're probably too tall to go to be.
Oh
an
yeah, I could
astronaut,
never
right?
be an astronaut. But then
At least in
the-
old times.
The other
anyway.
exhibit is this massive warehouse where they got the rocket that shoots you up. I was just like, okay, so I got to sit in this tiny ass thing,
right,
with this giant rocket strapped to my fucking back. Like,
Basically.
absolutely not. I would not
And
do
that's
it.
how you know our technology is so primitive. If you think about it, like we
Yeah.
got a big ass rocket,
right?
To
It's like the
that we,
biggest shit ever. The
For
size of
real.
a fucking mall.
That's crazy.
At some point, so y'all wouldn't do it. Method what would y'all do? Would y'all go to Mars? I mean, to Mars and Moon?
Now I
would do it. I would vacation to it. Like if it was affordable, right? Obviously, I think anyone that's going to do space travel for leisure is going to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to be millionaires and billionaires.
Most of the time, yeah.
It's not going to be for
billionaire,
us
probably.
Not
common
regular people,
folks.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But if I was ever in a position to do it, to say I did it, I would do it. Just like if they say, hey, you want to go on the space rocket? Like, what was the dude from Star Trek who went up there and he was like, oh my gosh, and
Captain Kirk,
whatever his name was.
Yeah, William Shatner.
William Shatner.
William Shatner.
Like I would do it. I don't want to have to pay for it, but I would go up there to the outer edge of Earth and be in space just to see, to answer some questions that we all have.
I don't know, man. I'm scared of heights.
Jay gonna come back and I'm be like, was it black up there? He gonna be like, yeah.
But this is the crazy thing. Like I said, I'm scared of heights. But like if you in space, does that apply?
Technically, there's no ground.
There's no ground.
Yeah, the ground is gone. So what the fuck you
you're
scared
not,
of?
So you're not high. technically.
You'll find a new fear. You'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm afraid of the void.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's part of my method lesson, so I ain't gonna say what I know about.
I used to be afraid of like water, and then I learned how to swim, and I was good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got on a cruise, and I went to the top, and I looked out over the water, and I was like, oh, that's a new fear right there.
Yeah. I have that also. The
I don't
open
like
ocean.
that shit.
I don't like
Open
the open
ocean.
ocean.
Don't
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah. Well, you know that we know more about
We know more about
we know more about space
than
than
we
we
do
do about the
about the-
ocean,
yeah,
the depth of
exactly.
the ocean.
That's
It's crazy. All right, let's go to the next clip real quick. What we doing on time? All right, couple more. And then we move on to
one fact about the universe that blows your mind the most.
In the piece of the universe we can see, there are something like roughly 2 trillion galaxies. We haven't counted them all, but that's an estimate based on surveys of the local universe. And each galaxy is, let's say, around the size of the Milky Way. Some are bigger, some are smaller, but the Milky Way has 400 billion stars in it. It takes light over 100,000 years to cross a galaxy. And there are 2 trillion of them in the piece of the universe we can see. And we're very sure that that piece that we can see is a small bit of what may be an infinite universe beyond. We don't know, actually. And I always say, don't get worried about that, because nobody can picture it. It is impossible to visualize the scale of the universe. Just the size and scale of it, I think, is beyond imagination.
all right. So that is astrophysicist Brian Cox.
I don't like him.
You don't like Brian Cox?
Is it his accent?
Everything he just said, I don't like that.
What did you like about him?
Don't talk to me about how big all of that shit is that I can't even understand. Like he's what is it? 300 billion stars?
I think he
It was a
said
lot.
like
Something
200 trillion.
It was a lot. It
The
was a lot.
galaxies,
Yeah.
but then within our Milky Way, it's like this many stars. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
There's like a billion stars
Yeah.
in our galaxy.
yeah,
That's
and
crazy
we're one
to
of
think
one of
about.
trillions. I
Yeah.
can't.
That's so
So
crazy
you mean
to
to tell
think
me-
about, man.
I can barely conceptualize being like one of 8 billion human beings.
Exactly.
And then we're like, oh, but also this ball of whatever y'all own, it's like so many of those. And also the thing that the ball is in is so many of those.
Yeah. There's even more,
on a scale, we are so small.
Yeah.
So
If
small.
I'm
feel
talking
like
to
you
somebody
mean
and
to
they
tell
say this
me
shit to me,
in the entire universe, there ain't that motherfucker that I can look in the eye and they can look back at me.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying.
crazy,
Like,
man.
They
come
too
on, man.
far.
Something's got
they
to
too far.
something's amiss.
Every time I see videos of like how we have just our satellites and our telescopes pointed in like one section of Earth, of the universe, and how much exists in that one little section, it blows my mind. Like the scale of how massive the universe is and how small we really are. We think about like nanotechnology and nanobots. Like we really might be nanobots, right? In a grand scheme of things, trying to escape out of our little bubble to see what other part of, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of crazy to think about.
So there's an episode of Rick and Morty, and that's a
Good old Rick and Morty, boy.
where
So it's got to be true.
it's
Gotta
100%
be.
true. So Rick has his like vehicle, his space vehicle, whatever, and the way he powers this vehicle is with this battery, and it just goes dead one day. So his
Oh, I know which one you're
plan
talking
to
about.
fix the battery is to shrink very, very, very tiny, go into the battery, and reconvince the civilization that is living inside the battery to like make the
Yeah.
battery work. Y'all supposed to be doing like
The Google box.
yeah. So they just stopped working.
Yeah.
And and then
But-
apparently it goes deeper. Like
Yeah.
a guy in there has another universe powering his shit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's us.
that's a good episode. Yeah. Rick
Yeah,
and Morty,
what-
yeah, that's
our
I gotta
galaxy.
go back and watch Rick and Morty. I started it a long time ago, but I stopped watching it. But I hear so many people who love Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, I
It's a
love
great
that
show.
shit.
Yeah, especially for like this kind of talk, like parallel universes and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But when you think about it, like us on Earth here, we are extremely lucky. Like, because there's so much terrifying shit in space. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Like, okay, what would you say is the scariest shit that you know about in space?
Just the void, like
For-
the space itself,
Just the space itself.
the vastness of it is scary
Okay.
as shit to me.
So
Okay,
outside,
but that doesn't pose.
I think stars
a-
are pretty scary.
Yeah,
Stars like you
are
can't
very
survive
scary.
near as like if we were on one planet closer, we'd
We'd be fried.
We'd be fried. Like, we can't
yeah.
get closer to the, and we can't get further away either.
Well, you know, actually, Venus is like the twin of Earth.
Right. It's
But
just hot as
that's
fuck.
just what happens when you're that
Right.
much closer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an inferno. It's like, I think it's like 1,000 degrees.
I don't even know.
You know, that's crazy.
I'd like to see it one day.
So,
Yeah.
Venus is actually
so for me,
curious
the
to me.
scariest thing about space is the fact that the sun will eventually engulf Earth in about 5 billion years.
Yeah, Earth's not gonna make it.
Earth is not
is
going
not
to
gonna
make
make
it.
it. Yeah.
Like, it's not going to make it. When I tell you my method lesson, you'll be like, what? But yeah, so that's the scariest thing for me is the fact like Earth is going to die at some point, which is why if you're thinking about like future generations and generations, we are trying, or we see these people like Elon Musk trying to get us to life on other planets,
Mhm.
right? Because maybe
We're gonna have to.
maybe Mars was Earth,
Mhm.
right? And then it would, whatever reason, stop working. We had to go to another planet and Earth
Yeah.
was the next planet, and we managed
Yeah.
to do it.
That's because
So, yeah.
Mars was smaller and the core stopped spinning faster.
Yeah.
And so once it stops spinning, you got no magnetic field. Then the sun just
Just breaking shit.
I'm breaking shit.
Just breaking
Anyway,
shit.
Just like that. That's the sound it makes and everything.
So what's the scariest
So-
thing that for you?
The scariest thing for me is probably it's a mix between two, right? It's rogue black holes because
Rogue
for
black
one
holes. I
thing,
don't like rogue black holes.
those are the ones
ass black holes.
Yeah, those are the ones that are created when a star goes,
Mm-hmm.
explodes. So like it's just because they can sneak up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you won't know they're there because you can't see them because they're fucking black holes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? You won't know them unless you see things reacting to it. You know what I mean? And if we see it coming and it's like the star right next to us is reacting to it, then you're like, oh shit, we're fucked. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do.
It's true.
You know what I mean? You're just done. You know, you can't even get away because it'll suck you in while you're trying to get away.
I always laugh when I see people post like these videos on social media, like tidal waves crashing in on us.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what would you do if this is happening? Like, motherfucker, that's a tidal wave.
Yeah.
That's about to kill all civilization. What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stand there and I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Like the same thing with like
Pretty
a
much.
rogue, a rogue black hole. It's like
Yeah.
they say, oh, a rogue black hole about to swallow us.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great.
Yeah, you
Glad it was
gonna
it.
count your blessings and be like,
Yeah.
that's a wrap.
Yeah.
And we probably wouldn't even feel it.
Yeah.
Like it would happen so quick.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It would happen so quick. You wouldn't even you would see crazy shit start happening in the sky, and then you'd be done. You wouldn't even understand what the fuck just happened. So the other thing,
And then you wake up on Mars in another body.
yeah, and then you wake up in a hole with a bunch of Lokis around you. You know?
Shit, I gotta get friends with Elon Musk then and get the fuck out of here just in case, you know.
Yeah. The other thing,
I ain't going out like that. Ain't no black hole sneaking up on me.
the other thing that scares the
Black
shit out of
holes
me
can sneak up on me
in
anytime you want.
space is called a gamma ray burst.
From the sun, right?
No,
That's how
No.
that's how the Hulk was created, right?
no. So a gamma ray burst is the same thing as like a supernova,
Mhm.
but it's aimed in one direction. So
Mhm.
it comes out as a direct beam,
Mm.
right? So a star pretty much it explodes, but all the energy goes out in a single
It's
beam.
like a star
Yeah,
throwing
yeah.
up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Projectile vomit.
Pretty much. And so if you think of it, just to let you know how this works, right? A gamma ray burst is equal to 100 trillion nuclear bombs going off continuously.
Stop saying trillions to me. Stop saying trillions to
and
me.
A million,
think about
million
this
is
going
enough.
off consecutively
That's
every
crazy.
second for 100 billion years. That's the
no.
amount of power.
And luckily,
You know what I mean?
luckily, those are far
I
enough
don't
away
like
from us
that.
that we're not getting hit with those. Too much.
This
That-
is
that
the
is
true
impolite.
definition of the Death Star.
That
Like
is
it can
for sure.
evaporate planets.
That is very impolite of space to have some
You know
shit
what I mean?
like that.
Like Earth actually got hit with one before.
What?
Yes.
And it shut down like all the satellites.
It shut
and shit.
down all the satellites. And
I
that
remember.
one came from 7 trillion light years away.
Crazy.
Oh.
So imagine if it was
So it was like it was faded.
it was
just
fizzled
the
out.
dust
It
of
was
at that
fizzled
point.
out.
It was a test.
Yeah, it was fizzled out. You know what I mean?
Let's
But
test these motherfuckers with a gamma burst.
But
See
imagine
how-
if it
and
was-
see how it affects their
imagine if
life.
it was 10 light years closer.
Destroyed.
You know what I'm saying? We would have been
Yeah.
evaporated.
been
So
around.
yeah, that's
That's
pretty
wild.
that's pretty fucking scary to me. I don't know.
All right, so I'm gonna play. No, that's scary.
Yeah.
2 new fears unlocked.
Because you think
Yeah.
about it, life
New
is
fear unlocked.
life is really fickle,
Yeah.
right? Like we don't think about how fickle our life is. Like it can be taken away so easy. We think about only the like here on Earth, but there's a lot of shit in space that can take
Yeah.
us out pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly.
Pretty
Without-
quickly.
Shit, I might
so
quit my job
fast.
tomorrow.
So
No,
fast
don't
that
do
we
that.
wouldn't even know what
Don't do
happened.
that. Don't do
Life
that.
is so fickle.
Don't do that. All right, so let me play this clip real
Like, why you
quick.
quitting Remy? This fucking gamma ray.
You ain't
burst,
heard about
man.
the
I don't
gamma
know.
rays, dog? The gamma rays.
Can't
The
spend
gamma
my,
ray- the gamma-
can't spend my
You gonna
fucking
start wearing-
birthday
you gonna
in
start
here with
wearing a-
you.
Gonna start wearing aluminum foil hat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Like, look, y'all don't know.
All right,
Like,
so
my time is
this
ticking.
last clip I'm about to play. This last clip goes more back to a conversation earlier in the podcast. We were talking about like how important we are, or how we're not that important, considering how vast space is, right? Like life has to exist somewhere else. And then this is again Brian Cox, astrophysicist that Remy does not like. But just in case Brian Cox is like actually watching this one day,
I don't actually.
we we fuck with
We
you.
fuck.
I
We
feel
fuck
you.
with you.
Come
All right.
on the podcast.
Let me play this real quick.
Very powerful point that Sagan made. All people who study the origin and evolution of life on Earth or cosmology, everyone gets this, every scientist gets a sense that there is undoubtedly something fragile and fortunate about our existence on this planet as a technological civilization. And there might be only one civilization in the Milky Way. That's a real point, a possibility. What does that say we should do? I think it's fairly obvious that we shouldn't explode a load of bombs on it. That's a fairly obvious point. It's a very powerful
So
point.
basically, he's saying like we might be the only life
Yeah. So don't
in
fuck
the
it up.
Milky Galaxy, Milky
Way.
So maybe we are actually
The candy
important, right? And so, are we humans important in the galaxy, or is it just ego to think so? Because if we,
I think we're important to ourselves. I don't think.
but
the rest
maybe
of
it's
the-
bigger than that, though. If we only are the only intelligent civilization in the Milky Galaxy,
I think we are.
that means we got to be somewhat important.
I
Yeah.
think what gives you importance is can you affect the environment around you?
Mm.
And I think human beings most definitely have the capacity to affect this solar system. I don't know about the galaxy.
Yeah.
The galaxy is fucking
we fuck it
huge.
up.
But we could probably blow up the sun if we wanted to.
Mm.
Like
I
not
don't-
yet.
I don't
No,
think-
no,
I don't
no,
think so.
no, no.
I feel like we could.
I don't
Nah.
think so.
You
You
thought
know how big the sun
I don't think
is?
so.
I'm
How you
like,
gonna blow
we
up?
can
I'm not,
fit-
I'm not saying
okay,
today.
We
I'm
can
not
fit
saying
3
today.
million Earths.
I'm
in-
not saying
in the-
today. I'm not
The
saying
Earth-
right now.
Okay, so the
I'm
sun
not
is
saying right now.
the sun is effectively itself the biggest bomb in
Yeah,
the solar system.
100%.
So
But
we
hypothetically,
can't blow that up.
hypothetically speaking,
If we send, you said
Superman
hold on,
threw
hold on.
nukes
You taught
into
me
the
something.
sun.
You taught me something today. You taught me something today. I'm gonna use that on you. You said stars are essentially like they don't fuck with iron.
Mhm.
If we send enough iron to the sun, we could flip that bitch inside out.
I'm pretty sure
But
that's
there's
how it
not.
works.
But there's not enough iron on Earth.
Then we throw a fucking planet at it. I don't know how we do it. So, maybe Pluto is
we'll
pure
just lasso
iron.
a
We just
planet.
lasso that bitch. Whoever's gonna do it, they'll figure it out. But I'm
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
I feel like we can affect Earth. We know for a fact we can affect Earth. So I think in the future, as far as like how far we go, and if we keep expanding, I think we could definitely at some point affect the solar system, if not the galaxy.
I
So I
don't
think that makes us
Y'all ever
important.
think we're
Well-
gonna get to a Star Wars phase
No.
where it's like galactic empires?
Oh,
Like,
maybe
there's not-
maybe amongst ourselves. I
Like
don't
there's
think-
not like
Only-
there's not like a U.S. government. There's like the space government.
Well, there are
You know
people
what I
who
mean?
believe that the space is a galactic committee that exists already. But if you that's out there, if y'all want to search for it, there's stuff out there that people believe in, and I think that it will only happen if again we figure out how this time travel works, or this how not even time travel, how to travel faster through space.
Yeah.
If that's figured out, then yes, I think that we can get to a point where like there are galactic entities that govern the space of universe.
So we were in Star Wars times. Would you fuck with aliens? You fuck with
I
aliens.
would fuck with aliens.
You would fuck aliens.
Hold on.
I know. You would
Fuck
fuck
aliens. Fuck aliens or fuck with aliens, two different things. Are you saying
Either
fuck
one.
with aliens?
Either one. You fuck with them?
How big is that alien's ass though?
I mean, I guess it depends. Like, is it
Not
like
only
the,
do
It's a
is
pussy
it like
type.
the is it
Not
like
only
the,
does it have a fat ass, but it's got 3 of them.
Oh,
that's
no.
what I'm saying, right? Is it Is it?
No.
That's what I'm
Can't
saying.
do
Is
it.
it? Is
I
it
can't
gonna
do
be?
it.
Is it gonna be like Alien from the movie Aliens? I wouldn't fuck with them.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Alien, like Gamora, I fuck with that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You just
Yeah.
green, like, hey, I can get past that.
That's true.
You know?
Get past the color of the skin.
Yeah.
Do y'all think humans are supposed to be in space? Like, are humans supposed to be in space? Because it seemed like it take a lot of fucking work for us to get to space. That ozone layer, the what's the belt? Van Halen belt. Like, it seems like it's a lot. Somebody somewhere put a lot of shit in place for us to make it hard for us to get out.
Yeah.
So, are we as humans supposed to be in space?
What if humans are prisoners?
Damn.
Like, we're the worst species in the
Damn,
galaxy, and they put us here in the solar system prison, so that we can't fuck up the rest of the galaxy.
Right.
You might be right. We just breaking out.
Based
know
on
what
the
I'm
movies
saying?
we be making, I believe it.
That's crazy.
We are
But you
Mind
but you would
equals blown right.
but you would think that, you know, when every time we shoot a space shuttle up to space, someone will show up. Nah.
Yeah.
We ain't doing that
Yeah.
shit. We ain't
For
doing
real.
that. Nah.
Maybe
So,
that's,
yeah.
maybe that's how
exactly.
some of the ones that didn't make it just randomly exploded. They was
Yeah.
like, no, that one was too good.
Like, yeah.
We had to stop that
Like,
one.
you got a little too close on that one. You got a little too close. You know?
Oh, that's fucked up.
Oh, okay. This is a random question. And I'm not a flat earther at all. Do y'all think the earth is flat?
Hell no.
I don't think it doesn't make sense. I
No.
can't.
Why doesn't it make sense?
Rationalize it.
We've never gone to space.
Of course.
We don't know what the earth looks like.
I mean,
We're just
yeah,
going by what people
if-
say. Now, I believe the earth is round, and I'm based on the
If
vid-
everybody's lying, yeah.
Yeah.
There
Because
has to be a lot of lying.
everything-
Actually, I had a barber who was a flat earther, and we had this conversation. And I was like, and he was like just a black dude, cool dude, like real
Yeah.
cool to talk to. And I'm like, how
Yeah.
the fuck do you think flat earth? And he's like, all right, let me break it down for you. So you know how in your body you got cells, right?
Mhm.
And they not all shaped the same. You got some round ones and you got some flat ones. And I was like, shut the fuck up, man. What did you talking about?
everything else
What
in space is
what
round,
the cells got to
except
do
Earth.
with? And he's like, well, you know, everything is parallel. I'm like, all right, dog. All right.
Nah, bro.
So my argument for flat earthers is that I think we see that humans in general can't agree on shit. You're telling me that every government
Got together.
got together and agreed that they will never leak the evidence that the earth is flat?
It's flat.
It's flat?
Yeah. Get out.
It's not fucking possible, bro. Like, we can't agree. No. You think North Korea would never say the truth?
Yeah.
You think?
Exactly.
Come on, get the fuck out of here.
Like in space, in order to have gravity, it requires it to be round.
Yeah.
It requires it to be a sphere. Like that's just the
Right.
physics of it.
Yeah, as far as the way things form.
So everything else is round in the solar system except Earth.
If you believe in flat Earth, you got like the worst trust issues ever. Like you don't.
For real.
You definitely don't trust your parents.
You don't trust nobody.
Nobody.
You don't trust.
You ain't never gonna trust nobody. No, they lying.
You don't trust
lying.
300 years.
I believe the
of
government
evidence.
lies, but why would they?
Oh
lie about
yeah.
some goofy shit like
Yeah.
that? No, it's flat, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. My
Like,
last
nah,
question
we just
is.
fucking with y'all.
My
It's
last,
flat.
here's my last question. Do you trust science or faith? Because if you think about it, like, scientists are helping us propel intelligence and human life forward in certain directions. And there are people who believe that faith is, like, when I say faith, I mean like religion and the different thought processes of this is what life is, this is what God is, this is what the heavens are. Science might say otherwise. So what do y'all fall for? Not fall for. What do y'all trust more in, science or faith?
I trust more. I mean, I have faith in science.
Okay, I fuck with it.
Okay, so because it's just a known fact that we're gonna have to leave this planet if humans are gonna
at some point
survive.
Yeah,
like the sun is gonna explode. Like there's a chance that eventually Mercury is gonna fucking hit the Earth and disintegrate us. So, like we're gonna have to. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see anything in the Bible about us leaving Earth.
Not a thing.
You know what I mean? So
I mean,
Jesus,
well,
but Jesus is coming back for some of y'all. But the rest of us is gonna have to die here.
The Bible didn't have
Maybe the
actually,
rapture
the Bible,
is
yeah, I was
the
gonna
people
say,
leaving on the
I was
spaceship.
gonna say the Bible did have something about leaving Earth.
Yeah.
The rapture would be it, and pretty much everything in Revelations
That's
is like this
people
shit is a
getting
wrap.
beamed up
So,
to the spaceship.
could be,
Maybe.
could be. It was just a bad interpretation.
Yeah.
Could have
Could
been.
be. Could be.
Science or faith.
I'm very much about there has to be a theory or there has to be proof. I can't just go off of what people randomly think. And a theory is like there's facts behind the theory. You know what I mean? There's like, okay, well, we tested this and we tested this, and if you put those two things together, then it should be this, and that's a theory. And that if I can rationalize it, yeah. But faith is like,
you know what that is?
There's got to be something.
That's noetic. That's what.
That's what noetic is.
Intelligent of intelligence. So you.
Well, I'm very noetic. Call me Remy Noetic from now on.
Remy Noetic and Jay Noetic in the house. Now that was to
Justin's poetic.
It's good to have faith in yourself. I think that's great to have faith in.
And that's human nature.
Yeah,
that's human nature to have faith in.
But I don't think faith should overrule science. And I think a lot of times when you think about like government, and we always say that there should be a separation of church and religion, but clearly there's not a separation. And we have people in office that have been voted in who are trying to put their faith in their religion above everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't be that way, because faith is just a belief, and a belief is not a fact, right?
Yeah.
And science is not necessarily a fact, but
it's trying to,
it's
leading to
but it's
facts.
more proven.
Yeah,
it's
more
working
proof.
towards facts. It's working towards the most truth as possible.
Yeah, and if it turns out based on new evidence, they redo their theories and say, this is okay, we got new evidence, this is what we're gonna go with.
Yeah.
Versus like faith, it's like, nope, no new evidence.
See, the difference to me is that
faith was science. When science fucks with faith, faith has to be like, nah. Like
that's the
in
thing.
Science,
That's the
when
thing.
science fucks with
Science
has to
will
change.
admit when it's wrong.
Exactly.
Faith will not.
Right. It is.
It will not. It will not. You got anything else to talk about before we end this main
no,
message?
I think I'm done.
Remy, you good?
I'm good.
Hey yo, let's get into method lessons.
Reading is fundamental. Now let's get on with this school thing. You teach.
So this is a segment where we're going to talk about something that we learned within the last whatever. And I don't know if I learned anything this week, but
you better learn something.
I bought this book called Life Hacks, which is full of things that, could be worth learning. So
what the cover look like?
It's like that. Look like that.
Okay.
So I got it at the aquarium. Which I probably should have learned something at the aquarium.
Is that why you asked Aquarius?
Yeah.
People about the aquarium.
If I go somewhere high, I'm gonna ask some weird questions. Come on now.
Okay.
All right. So this is life hack number 340. If you want to get rid of bad breath, brushing your teeth is important. But what's more important is brushing your tongue.
I do brush my tongue.
I feel like black folks already know that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely brush my tongue.
There's probably other people that don't. So let me see if I can find one more.
And also checking to see if you got tonsil stones. Those will make your breath
Tonsil stones.
horrible.
I've heard about that as well.
Those will make your breath
I've heard
horrible.
about that as well.
Is that what causes halitosis?
It could be.
I think that might be
It
something
could be.
else.
It might be. I don't know.
This is not a scientific podcast. So another one is
It's a faith-based podcast.
Tape pool noodles to the edge of a container. Add some ice and your favorite drinks for a homemade floating cooler.
Hold on. Take what?
Pool noodles to the edge. Tape pool noodles to the edge of a container. Add some ice and your favorite drinks for a homemade floating cooler. So next time y'all go to the pool,
you take a regular cooler, wrap a pool noodle around it,
or any container,
and you got your drink holder.
Yep.
It just floats.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So
Remember that commercial?
Brilliant.
I don't know what commercial it was. But I do
That was
remember
what was that? It was a beer. It was a beer.
Was it beer?
Yeah, it was like that
we owe
red
them
stripe.
Oh,
Red Stripe.
it was Red Stripe.
Red
It
Stripe.
was Red
Brilliant.
Stripe. Brilliant. Want me to go next on the method lesson? Where you want to go?
I'll go next.
All
I'll go
right.
next. Okay, so in my research for this podcast,
All right.
I came across this little bit of information. it was kind of interesting to me that there was a time on Earth where there was no decomposition. So think about that. Anything that died did not decompose.
It was just sitting there.
It just sits there.
Isn't that where they got testing from? What do they call that testing when they go back?
Carbon testing.
Carbon testing, right?
That is where most of the carbon on this planet came from. That period. It was a period of 300 million years, and it's called the Carboniferous period. So there was
know a little something.
The bacteria and algae had not evolved enough to decompose
That's
things.
crazy to think about. Like, it just sits there.
So so me, Justin, dies. I'm just like this for eternity.
That's crazy.
And I'm sitting here like, you're not even gonna go home. You're just gonna die in my living room like this and not even decompose. God damn.
For real.
They had nobody over here.
That's absolutely insane.
People. That is crazy.
That's completely
But
crazy.
yeah, I think I learned years ago. Maybe it was just, I don't know when I learned it, but like that the carbon testing comes from like decomposed like dinosaur bodies or mammals or whatever was trapped in the core to let us know how far back it was. It's crazy to think about. Like, damn, nothing decomposed. That's crazy.
And just think about that. For that long of a time, nothing decomposed. Like grass died, it didn't decompose. Trees died, it didn't decompose. Like it just
did it say
stayed
why things weren't decomposing? Was it like something in the
because the
atmosphere that
bacteria and algae that causes decomposition didn't exist.
Wow.
Yeah. So it just sat there. Like a tree would fall, it would just sit there.
So it's like supply and demand. Basically, a bunch of food was all over the place, and something was like, "Yo, we should probably eat this."
Yeah.
And they were
pretty
like,
much.
"Fuck it, let's do it." And next
Pretty
thing you know,
much.
decomposition.
Yeah. And so over millions of years, all that stuff got compressed.
Yeah.
And that is what caused us to have coal now, because all that stuff that was compressed, it turned into coal.
Coal energy.
That's why there's so much of it.
That's why there's so much of it.
Because it was just a wild. It was a fucking feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's
because
dope.
there's so much stuff that got put on top of it that the pressure.
You just learned that this week? How the fuck?
I
where
just
was
learned
you
that
at?
shit.
You was just around.
I was just looking up random science shit about Earth. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And that's what I
What's
found.
up?
You know,
So my method
that is
lesson.
noetic.
That is noetic. That is noetic. Or the word is noesis, which is my second book called Noesis, Empowering the God Within You. But noesis and noetic means of intelligence. All right. So my method lesson is first I'm gonna spit some facts that I learned in researching, like
Spit hot
Justin.
fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna spit a gamma ray. So 1 million Earths can fit inside the sun.
Yeah, that's massive.
That's how big the sun fucking is.
That's
1 million
massive.
Earths. That's crazy. Space.
Did you know also 100 Earths can fit inside the lone dark spot on Jupiter?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Jupiter's
Did you
huge.
know that 1 million Earths could also
Listen,
fit?
motherfuckers. Who method lesson
like,
is
this
it?
is my turn.
This is my method lesson or these motherfucking method
I'm
lesson?
trying to spit
I'm pretty
facts.
sure it's my method lesson right now. So we're going to, no, I'm joking. We're going to say.
Meg Thee Stallion.
Okay. So space.
That's why they call it cellular.
Space is completely silent, which is crazy to think about because there's nothing for the sound to bounce off
travel
of. Mars has a volcano bigger than the entire state of Hawaii. And those are the three things I learned. Those are facts about space. But here's my method lesson that I learned. I learned that the Earth is always falling in space and it's always falling towards the sun. And the reason that the Earth does not crash or fall into the sun is because Earth is going faster in this trajectory than what the sun is. And it's like a weird horizontal path that we're on. But if the Earth was on this slower path and didn't have the wiggle that it does, Earth would fall into the sun.
Yeah.
Like we're literally
So if it wasn't
falling.
moving.
Yeah, we're literally falling in space.
Yeah, it's like
Literally.
somebody threw us at the sun, and then like the gravity caught us and just kind of kept swinging us around.
Yeah.
but didn't throw us directly at the sun.
So yeah, so as fast as the Earth is going around the sun is going around the black hole in the center of the galaxy. So we're traveling millions of miles an hour.
Yeah, it's
at,
crazy.
at any point. You know, it might seem like you're sitting still, but you're not.
I knew that's why I felt the breeze. I knew we was moving.
Yeah.
Crazy. Hey, man, each week, man, we talk about different stuff. We need y'all to share and like and comment and tell people about the podcast because we can't grow without the method heads.
What we talking about next week?
I think next week we are talking about. Hold on, let me go into my notes. Because I don't remember.
Something that was audience involved, I
Do
believe.
you remember?
we gonna have to call in.
It was a mansplaining.
Yeah, we was gonna do mansplanations. And
Mansplanations.
get the ladies,
It was mansplanations.
as many ladies as we can to call in.
So,
and talk,
Is that
talk
like
to
when a
us about
man
it.
says something that a woman just said?
I mean, that's one way to define it.
We're gonna talk about it because there's so much. I think it's gonna be a lot that we can talk about with it.
I get accused of this all the time.
Don't we
so
all?
I'm all in.
But we should. That's a whole other podcast.
We'll get there.
Next week we're gonna talk about all of it, man. And we need about 4 or 5 women, method heads, that are willing to call in and talk to us just briefly because y'all motherfuckers don't know how to get
long-winded.
Can't be long-winded. I'm gonna talk on the podcast. You're not
say
on the
what you need to
podcast.
say. You can tell a story, but it better be a good story.
Yeah.
So,
I know at least one.
All right.
She know who she is.
You know who she is. Anytime, man.
So yeah, we're looking for y'all. Holla at us next week.
Next
And
Wednesday. So
we're gonna be talking about it on social media all week. So
they say that the liquor make you talk quicker. We say M is for
mostly.
E is for
everybody.
T is for
talking.
H is for honestly. O is for
over.
D is for drinks. Till next week, man.
Saying what you think, it ain't no place for rejection. I claim it a method.